We are live. What's going on? Meatball, see, I told you I was gonna ask if Meatball likes these toys or not. You see, watch. How many of you guys want to think? Okay, let's do a bet, all right? You smash that like button if Meatball does not catch this toy, all right? Let's see how much he's into this toy. If he misses this toy entirely, you guys smash that like. Here it is. Go, buddy. Good, he didn't care at all, which means that deal is struck. What's going on, guys? We're back for the Power Hour. Just began. Gotta start, 10 minutes after, but I can still ring that bell. Here it is, 3 of them for 3 o'clock Eastern. Number guys at Joe, Chad Starling, Edward, Pence, Daniel, Rodriguez, and Hudson Kim. Daniel's already putting those likes in the chat. Daniel, I actually owe you an email. So watch for that in a second. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's cup, guys? What is cup? Speaking of cups, we have GME currently trending right on the 2% up on the day, off of 220 as a daily high, right? So 224.37 was that high, and AMC had a high of 59.36. We started covering the price action of AMC on the early morning bell. Towards the middle, we saw a little bit of turbulence all the way down to 56.77, had an attempt to try and retake 57, rejected soundly, and another support at 57.20, 20 cents above that level of support that we drew here. And now a strong bounce off of the VWAP consolidated with that 57.61. Looks like AMC is going to hold this position for much of the rest of the day. And here we come. Here it comes. Here comes the potential. Whoa, 1 second. Here comes the potential double gamma squeeze, the one that we have been talking about for a long time. AMC has gotten over, let's see, last time we checked on option Sonar, that was 27 million with an M. 27 million calls in the money at the $30-ish strike. It's gotten even crazier all of a sudden. So this is the AMC options chain. Looks like that 27 million is still here, with an additional 6 million on 33. That brings up to 33. And, well, that's weird. 6 plus 27 is 33 at the $33 strike, and at $35, another 3 million. That brings us up all the way to $36 million of in-the-money calls, right? People don't make these bets without fully understanding that they have no reason to bet that low, that AMC is going to stay above the $35 range. So we've seen these deep in the money calls. We have explained them in the past before, and we're going to explain it again in the video in a second. Let's see. So we have that options chain. GME's had these 2 very large, imposing, dark and dangerous puts in the money here. $8 million at 380 and $9 million at 390. Let's do a refresh. That was earlier today. When we refresh, yep, still the same thing, relative terms, except now we have $25 million. Someone just doubled their puts on the same exact strikes. We had 7 and 8 respectively. Now we have 12 and 13. That brings us up from 17 mil all the way up to $25 million of puts at 380 and 390. That's very, very suspicious, right? This is not anything that we've seen in the past. Evelina saying, what price do you think should we expect when GME squeezes? The next gamma squeeze is bringing itself all the way up. Hold on, what you said, GME? Let's see. Who was the one that was asking? Oh yeah, when GME squeezes. Okay. So GME's options chain goes all the way up to $800. That's the way that it's been set for a while. So it really depends on a gamma squeeze or the margin call squeeze. Gamma or margin call, those are the 2 that we're currently waiting around on. Okay. This has to be got to be costing them piles of cash. You know, oodles oodles of cash. That is very expensive. Think about that premium, right? $25 million worth of puts deep in the money. It's essentially saying, yeah, I think the sun is going to rise tomorrow. These deep in the money calls, just think of them as easy bets for anyone to make, but it costs a lot of money to make them. Did you see that wedge on GME? Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Can I get to the 5-minute chart? Is this the wedge you were talking about? I would say it's still in progress. So this is an intraday bullish wedge right here. Let me pull up a pen so I can see it. Tracking this wedge right here with a breakout point of, wow, basically right at after hours. If this starts to rip, GME could end up breaking very bullishly out of this pennant here. So you're expecting 1 touch point here, 2, 3, then before touching the bottom, a double top at the top of this pennant, and now 2 touch points below, 3 touch points above. Yeah, this looks starting to look like a pretty standard wedge for the day. Now that said, it does use a lot of the bottom of the price action here, so there's not a ton of the uptrend that exists that is not part of this pattern here. That's what we're looking on for GME. Let's see. Have I seen any ducks today? Geez, what a question. I see. What is that? Whack whack. Is that a duck outside right here? Let me look at those legs. Let me look at those duck feet. Want this? Meatball. Finally, I'm off work, says Mark Cicel. Red Foreman says, how you doing? You know, I'm doing good. Just had a home-cooked meal. Hector's family is in the house right now. So we just basically upgraded to a full family. We got moms, we got dads, we got pups, and we got professors. That's all you need. Evelina says, what is the price when they get a margin call? Could the price go to 800 in a short squeeze and then drop? Remember, 800 is the right side of the gamma squeeze. And the gamma squeeze is guaranteed to be a smaller squeeze than the mother of all short squeezes. Yo, can you tell us what the margin calls haven't happened yet? You don't know whether the margin calls have happened yet. That's the biggest key. Right now we have AMC nearing a 10% rip for the day, right? 7.5% and holding. That means that with 10% price action today, another 10% tomorrow, and then on, as long as we stay on this positive route past this pennant, it could be compounding to a 50% rip this week, right? Over the course of 3 days. That's what happened to AMC the last time we had a bullish pennant here, and this could be it playing out right now. Are they the samer? They were. Those feet. The feet of those ducks, they were the samer. I ate 250 likes in here, making that math make sense, guys, with the number of people currently in the chat. We are going to go into the after hours, which means I hope you guys have plenty of time on your hands to take a look at whether or not those margin calls are paying off on the after hours market. Alan Rudabush says, make my funk the P-funk. I want to funk hedgies up. Oh, let me go a little deeper. Ergonomic. Jaw is in the house. BBack 24/7 says, when you see 100K, then you know it's begone. With an O. Begone. Let's see. Evelina, to answer your question, we don't do price targets here. We don't do dates here. We do the simple mechanics of how the markets work. The data that we collect, as well as the statistical confidences of whether or not these squeezes occur. So from a scientific standpoint, the technicals are playing out for both AMC and GME GME is currently waiting to see if this intraday bullish pennant is going to rocket itself up right before the after hours begin. And AMC, on the other hand, is currently on the edge of this macro bullish pennant. Let's go out to the 30-minute and take a look, right? We overcorrected over here, and we overcorrected over here as well. So we went under the pennant earlier and now over the pennant, but we are still staying pretty much in the exact same space, the liminal space of breaking out. And now that the pennant is fully realized, sometime in the 29th or the 30th. So that's the last time that we've played this pennant here was this gold one, and we broke down and below this pennant the day before it was supposed to break out. So a lot of bad news, but then the day after it broke under the pennant, it came right back above, and from here, from the 48s, it went all the way up to 65. So that's the power of a potential macro pennant here. We are Spartans and the hedgies are a bunch of fannies. Oh no, you can't say fanny on YouTube. Don't you know children are listening? Let's see. Amber Phillip says, or Amber Philippe. Awesome. That's what I'm wondering. Thank you, everyone. Giving Amber a good notion that we don't give financial advice here. We give the data, the education. Is there a database that shows margin called funds and positions? If there isn't, there should be. Right, Meatball? Meatball's thinking about it. He's like, that's $1 billion proposition right here. Evelina, you can ask as many questions as you want. We welcome them. Keep them coming. We have Nerf Nerdster. Blazer Dave says they cannot win. They have already lost billions, and this is a fact. Right? Whenever we're going to talk about speculation, I'm going to say this is the theory, right? But the fact of the matter is that they've already lost billions of dollars. Some $1 billion of losses happened within a week. If they have lost $1 billion just a week and a half ago, how much do you think they're losing as AMC continues to crawl upward? 8% we just broke. Coming up on a bullish rip as we speak. This was coming off of the EMA over here, the 200-day. A very gentle rip, as they say. GME is also catching tailwind of this rip. Watch the price, the real life price action here at 214.87. Seems like it's, yeah, seems like it's at 214.87. I was like, you better not be frozen. Are hedge funds losing control? I have a strong inkling that shorts expected this to go differently today. Let's take a look at whether or not they borrowed from the Stonko tracker. 1.7 million. They just borrowed half a million shares from AMC. It seems like they're not in a hurry to try and borrow the available shares they need to continue shorting the stock. Take a look at GME if the story is any different. GME has had that same 100K all day. All day, every day. So the options get stranger. They're getting weirder. There's nothing you can do to stop it. The weirder the options get, the weirder we're gonna keep on rolling. Porta Pistone says, I read that hedgies don't have to buy back shares. They can also pay with cash. Is this possible? No. All shorts must cover. All shorts must cover. They need to find a share. They can't just go out and pay you to close out your account. Right? You have the share. You might not even know that hedge funds have borrowed your share to short. So they owe you a share, and it doesn't change your portfolio at all. You still have one share of AMC or GME when they borrow from you, right? If they borrow from that person that they then sell to and then keep borrowing, that's a rehypothecated share. But nobody needs to be the wiser when it comes to this recursive chain of shorting. All that matters is that they have to be paid back. If you sell at 70, you will never get a squeeze at like GME. Agree. If you sell at 70, you're essentially saying, oh, I can be rich? No thanks. You want me to make how much money? No, thank you. $8 million, another 8 milli dropped at $145 at the right side of the options chain. So both of the left and the right side looks pretty full. We just need more support in the middle in order to snowball all the way up to 145. Truls Hoglund says, hello, is this barcode city? Barcoding is remember, we talked about conclusions driving reasoning. Barcoding is a conclusion that people have come to, and they would try to drive what would cause this in terms of the technical patterns here. Miles Bradley says, I'm in Canada and use Questrade. They said turning off share lending wasn't possible. Well, then I have a suggestion. Get to the chopper. No. Make sure that if you do have a broker like Webull, or you are qualified, I'm not sure if our Canadian friends are qualified, to get Webull, to grab that in the description below and opt out of share lending so they can't continue to short your shares without you being able to benefit from them and without you having a democratic say-so. Blue Pill Man is asking me about a call, right? As a reminder, I can't do financial advice. Kathleen Nixon says, I would like to snowball. Sounds good. But Blue Pill Man, what I can do is recommend Tiblio in the description down below if you want an all in-house tool for your options chain education. Johnny Pie says, move! Come on! So it seems like we are actually forming this pennant pretty well, right? It's getting stuck at the simple moving average. So if GameStop could just hit the top of this or get rejected and come back to 213s, that would be great. One of those two would be bullish. All Ruiz says, Andrew, I'm in a diagonal spread. Why is it not good to sell far of the money on one half of the spread? Is it because of theta? So this is a question that I've covered in like the educational TA 101 videos. So if we can make a whole video about that. Let's talk about that in the after hours. But overall, if the Greeks don't make sense, it's meant to be a complicated issue. It's meant to have you like think that the options chain is too complicated, right? And it certainly is not for beginners who are who could end up, if you play the option chain or day trade, losing a lot of money. Two of the most dangerous parts of the market. Joel says, my entire portfolio is an AMC GME SPCE. I feel like is diversified enough. Virgin Galactic got approved for FAA. Branson's going to space before Bezos. Branson's before Bezos is a American Gothic novel about about the post-squeeze economy and how everyone has to go to the moon now once those tendies come in. What if a bunch of apes brought their tendies together after the squeeze and went to the moon together? But like actually, right? It shouldn't take that many apes. How much money does it take to go to the moon? A couple billion? Probably not, right? I think like a handful of apes could afford that. Let's see. Would I date a fan, like a metal fan or a plastic fan? That depends. Those metal fans can be really dangerous. Put your hand in there and they go. Let's see. Just ordered more AMC hashtag holding. Supplies equals hashtag wed. Oh, your wedding. That's nice. Well, congratulations. Early. I thought I saw Brendan Burns in here earlier, but he did not stick around. Do I follow Sundial? I used to. I used to follow Sundial very closely, but now It's about the AMC and GME world. Conceptual Logic says Andrew being cheeky. Ed Foreman says, I'm feeling patriotic for this week. Who is ready for 4th? America! Ah! Throw those flags in the chat. You can throw whatever flag you want. If you're American, I'm expecting you're throwing the American flag. Throw those flags in the chat, and I'll try to guess them if they're not American. Even if they are, I'm going to try to guess them. You throw a flag in the chat, I'm going to try to guess it. You think AMC to break that to 72, 77 Friday? Why 77? AMC has never gone to 77. Is 77 some magic number? That is a gambler's number, though. 7, just missing one more 7. Deviant Way says, who's with me? Let's put our banks together and go to space. Alright, here's the first guess. Channing Leeser, that is the American flag. Got it. Vince Chang says that one. I'm going to say that's the Brazilian flag. Done. We have, right? I think I'm already wrong, maybe. Matt Handbag, that's the Union Jack. That's the British flag. Got it. We got Jay Insignia. That's a? I have no idea. I'm gonna say that is the Lithuanian flag. Where are the Lithuanians at? Oh man, Mehdi Hassan. I have no idea what flag that is. Tell me. Actually, I'm curious. That flag looks important. Tell me what flag that is. Someone just screamed Jamaica. Oh, that was wrong already. That's the Brazilian flag. KO is throwing the Brazilian flag. These flags are actually really small. and I think super ultra low latency is on. Let me see. Super ultra low. No, it's normal latency. That's why. Okay, we'll turn on super ultra low latency next live stream. Rick Mason says, thanks for all you do. Thank you, Rick. Caligula says 77. Oh, yes, but that's after hours. Bangladesh. Bangladesh flag. Got it. We think we have some Italian flags from Dario. Whichever flag that is. Nick Rodriguez is throwing a flag that looks a lot like Dario's flag, but with a thing inside. The Mexican flag? Is it? This flag? Right?
Yes.
That's right, yeah? Okay, good. Bam. Red Foreman says, shout out to all the men and women defending America and all countries' patriotic heroes. Throw it out to all of the heroes that defend your respective countries. Daniel Rodriguez says, do you think MMAT is going to bounce back after this 20% loss? I'm going to have to see it on a chart. Oh, good. GME has gone back to the bottom of this pennant, so this pattern could still break out. Just some kid's dad says transferred AMC to Webull. Congrats. Remember, if you haven't done it yet, links in the description. These are rookie numbers. Exactly. Make that math make sense, guys. 1,600 of you, only 500 likes in here. Smashing that like helps send this message out to more apes. Ooh, Tibetan flag. Japan, I can recognize that one. Remember when I said that personal finance is more important than geography, or at least equally important? Well, now Andrew's showing how much he wasn't paying attention in geography class. Let's see. Evelina says, what are your thoughts, Andrew, of that GME is the one that will start, the mother of all short squeeze, and AMC will follow? You know, for the longest time, at least for this month, AMC has seemed like the better candidate, but it doesn't matter. You see my positions on screen for both. So I'm expecting both of these to continue going to the moon very soon. Doesn't really matter which one's which. Hold on, let me just pull this up. There. And I've shown my position for almost every live stream. Not that you guys are saying anything to the contrary, but there they are. Battle of 5801. We're already starting a battle. It's only Monday. And yet it's only Monday. Monday. Margin call Monday, manipulation Monday, black Monday. Mondays that really Garfield my lasagna. Okay, I'm having trouble having this fit again. Why did this chart change? There we go. Sweet. Okay, so now that we have two touch points on the bottom, I think there is a bull strategy to try and make multiple touch points on the bottom of this pennant before it goes. Scared, Potter? I don't know what that's for, but that's awesome. Hey, Andrew says Taruk Makto. Taruk Makto says, can you explain calls? Calls is like a meta bet on the stock market where you pay a premium, you pay money to make a bet that the stock is going to hit a certain number. If it does, you get to buy it for that number. If it doesn't, you just lose the money that you paid instead of having to deal with, holding on to the stock and riding the waves up and down. It's a set contract with an expiration date, which makes it a different kind of investment than the normal long or short position. Rick James says, how long does it take to do the Webull transfer? I'm stuck in the same boat, need to get out of mine. And the super chat is for the great day. Rick James, you know it. But second of all, rip off the Band-Aid. It's just going to make you feel better. If you didn't rip off the Band-Aid, if you didn't transfer out of Robinhood into Webull using the link in the description, all the way back in the Quadruple Witching Day, if you didn't do it last week when we had that crazy price action at the last minute of Friday, right? If you're not doing it soon, you're just ending up kicking a can down the line and leaving yourself vulnerable. Now, at the very least, if you're not ready to transfer, at least open a Webull account so that you have multiple ways to access the market and you get to use this free trading tool. Taylor says, we need to have a segment where you have a banter with Meatball, but the real question is, what kind of accent or voice would Meatball have? He would have the Swedish chef voice. He would just, every time he opens his mouth, he will be bork, bork, bork. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound like something that I would want? I would want that. What do you want?
The new Meatball notebook.
Oh, you want the new Meatball notebook on the AndrewMoMoney.com store? Gotcha. I have. Did you want me to see it?
Yeah. The end.
Okay. Oh, there's Brendan Burns. He says, I'm here. Russell Crowe just announced studio in Coffs Harbor, so we're a tad rushed, as you imagine. I don't know. What is your relationship to Mr. Crowe? CC Mulligan's in with Anna, focused on sustainable energy pitch deck. Ooh, cool. Well, I'm excited. Oh yeah, there it is. There's that Andrew Mo Money Naked Shorts notebook. You can keep all of your proof for whistleblowing in this notebook. Look at the description. Meet Professor Meatball wearing a funny pair of naked shorts. Yeah, a handy dandy notebook for your crayon drawings, doodles, and notes from watching Andrew Mo Money. Very cool. Love to see it. Brendan Burns says, booby is a term of affection, by the way. I think I can say that once on YouTube before going. I can say Fanny, though, right?
Oh.
That's for Fannie Mae. I'm not trying to say anything crazy. Strong sell signal from Lux Algo today after a crossover and a major divergence of the oscillator down here. So they're expecting AMC to continue down into this downtrend here. GME is starting to return to its 50-day EMA, which is currently at 213. If it stays there, it's not going to have the momentum it needs to push out of this pennant. We ideally don't want this. What's up, Jezebel? Tom says, sounds like the chef from the Muppets. That's right. That's the one I'm talking about. Meatball's voice would be Isaac Hayes. Who's that? Evelina says, thank you for the hard work. Great work, and it's nice that you answer us. Of course. This is a learning community. Alrighty. Jezebel says, had to run a few errands, but I've been here in time. A 3-year-old ice cream himself. When you really don't you hate it when you ice cream yourself? Lux Oscillator, in my opinion, works better than the buy-sell signals. I mean, you have to know how to use it. But in my opinion, I think that's a significantly better product. It depends on what you're looking for. Rick James says, I understand your point, sir. I have opened a Webull account, and that's what I've been using for the past 2 months. They have 33 shares on Robinhood. Okay, that's your prerogative. That's up to you. Keep them there, don't keep them there. Oh. 1.5 million more views from recommendations. That's more than usual. That is more than usual. Oh yeah, I have subscribed already. Okay, cool. Sweet, okay. Luke Williams says 100%, 100%, 1000% agree. The oscillator is the best feature in Lux. Yeah, Luke gets it. Luke understands what's good and what's bad. Whoops, hold on. There. Well, I was gonna put Luke's comment up there, but it is really good. Laser Dave says, everyone like! Aw. Conceptual Logic says, I'm expecting a nice jump up tomorrow as well. Well, I hope you are, because tomorrow is when the breakout of that macro pennant is likely to occur. Jezebel always has been. Nani? Are the hedge funds losing control? That's fun. I can see almost the proportion of people who come in that are new versus returning. Analytics, it's so fun. Brandon says they are borrowing hundreds of thousands of shares to try and slow it down. Wonder if we will see them increase shorts 50% again this week. Remember, that short increase from 14% to 18% was a data correction, right? The amount of data we were scraping was not accurate. Main Arbor says, you have a Webull referral link? Yeah, it's in the description down below. And if you're like Main Arbor, you can grab that referral and then take your 2 free stocks, and it's a really good time. God, I keep changing to the wrong screen. There it is. Bader says, I am feeling optimistic on GME breaking out of the wedge after hours, which is why we're going to be going into the after hours with yours truly. And we're going to be doing the smooth sailings of the ASMR stock market. The ASMR stock market. Actually, I should check if I am scheduled to do something. Uh-oh, who's this? Dean, we're going to have to move our meeting. If you're currently listening, we're gonna have to move it all the way down here, probably. There. Ooh. Let's see. Julie Marshall says, fair enough. Let's see. If I had a beneficiary IRA, what would I do? What would you do? Well, in what context? What kind of question is this? Now this wedge is actually starting to play nice with the bottom of this wedge here. So even though GME is still stuck at 213, the possibility of it ripping is still in the same pennant. The longer the short, the juiciest the squeeze will be, says Wasim. Taruk is asking, if you make a call, how do you make money? Taruk, it sounds like, I'm going to be very clear. You can lose a lot of money if you buy out the money calls. So, excuse me, without any amount of financial advice, I have to tell you that you should not, you should be very wary of entering the options market if you don't understand. But just to answer your question, because it sounds like you want to, but you want to be a little bit more informed before you enter it. You make profit on the call if it goes in the money. Here's exactly how you make money. Here's how much money you make, by the way. So this is how much money you make. That's 0. So this is $0. And the x-axis, so that's the y-axis. The x-axis is what the, hold on, let me think about this. Oh yeah, the x-axis is how much money the stock is worth. So let's say this is your strike price. Let's say that you buy a call for AMC at $60, right? So you lose money until 60, in which case you start making money. And then you start making money linearly because the amount of money that you can make if you exercise is going to be whatever the price of the stock is minus the premium that you buy. Right, so this is the negative P. But then this is a function of price of stock minus your strike price minus your premium. And I'm just using shorthand so that everyone can understand. Okay, so this is the amount of money that you can make. It's all about the price of the stock minus the strike price minus the premium. Now the premium and the strike price are inversely related. So the higher the premium means the lower the strike price. Sorry, wait, yeah. Because the lower the strike price means the more probable that AMC does roll up into that strike price within the expiration date. So that is your profit for a call. Take this away for now. Krimmer in the house. Michael says you can also make a lot of money. That's true. Philippines love your stream. What's up, Junior Rodriguez? That's a very cool name. Junior Rodriguez. Pigs get slaughtered. Learn before you play. Andrew, do you think the SEC could stop the trading so we lose money? The SEC hasn't done it before. All of the stops have been automatic except for the ones from the brokers themselves. But can the SEC do it? Yeah, they could. We have Schlump Bob says, can you see the Ortex interest? We saw the Ortex of AMC trading at 19% earlier, still there. And AMC and GME still below 13.5. Come on, power hour. Last 8 minutes and we're going into the after hours. In 3 minutes, we're going to stand. Let's see. Anastasia says, hedge funds, market makers, banks have corrupted, colluded, manipulated severely, and now that we have control, they want to blame us for the economy. Yes, this has been the perfect heist plan from the hedge fund's point of view. They heist a stock that they thought nobody cared about, but the fact is that we do. And now that we have come in force and say, do not hurt the stock anymore, they are going to call uncle and say, listen, look at this manipulation. Look at this. You don't want this. SEC, take a look at these 4 million people trying to coordinate their action, whereas we have the amount of money as 4 million people. And we get to run around amok, unregulated. Hilarion says, my friend works at Citadel and she confirmed that they all drink blood for breakfast. Well, the whistleblower. they whistleblowed. That's a joke, of course. They drink diet blood. Play the State says, hi, what a great day. Came out on the surfboard, come home and AMC is moving. You make money while surfing. That's the stock market. That's them's the breaks. When you come to the stock markets, you better be prepared to surf. Andrew Money 2021. If you're coming to the stock market, be prepared to surf. Kirk age 20 is asking about your password. Uh-oh. Are you okay? How dare us buy a stock and hodl? Kelly Jenkins, this is for shame. How dare you try to buy a little rocket ship and one day it'll go to Mars, the smallest rocket ship there is. Let's take a look at my Lux Algo settings here. It's going to be confirmation. Doesn't matter what this number is because you set it to autopilot. If you wanted to change the sensitivity, 10 to 50 are recommended. And then reversal zone, EQ cloud, nothing else. You can also forecast overlay indicators, which is one of my favorite because I love to see the forecast of one of these indicators. It's 5 minutes until the day is over. Let's stand. Patty Nelson, thank you. You want to stand? Want to stand? Come on, buddy. Let's stand. Come on. Please stand. Stand for this price action. Stand. It's on the couch. Come on. Yes, good boy. Now.
He's like, that's my dog treats.
All right, we standing for this price action here. Amy Gilbert says, was there anything unique with AMC beginning of June that made it rocket to 70? Yes. We'll talk about that in just a second, Amy. Amy's asking a good question here. Last 4 minutes of price action, we have AMC confirming our pennant for the day. Very bullish. As you know, GME coming back down to its 50-day EMA and being stuck right at that dynamic support and between its 215 still has a chance to rip after hours. In fact, both of these stocks are currently relying on NSCC 002 to consolidate its action so that margin calls can be carried out. Rose is hitting that like. You know, the longer we stand, the more likes we're gonna get. Like, I am tired. Okay, Meatball. I'll stand for you. I'll stand for the both of us. Steven says, hey, Andrew, how are your family? Did any of them get affected by the tornadoes that ran through Chicago this past week? What? Well, I'm going to call my parents. I think that they're okay. Yesterday when I called them, they should be okay today.
Oh. Tornadoes out.
I lived in the Midwest for a very long time and I've never seen a tornado. How can how long can Meatball stand like that? Not very long, as we've learned. Stand tall and stand by. Zamia is asking, what am I going to do with my MOAS attendees? Starting a nonprofit for financial education for the middle school to high school age students across the world. An international startup nonprofit that gets education to the people that need it most, right? People who are about to become adults in the next 5 to 10 years. They really need to learn this more than they need to learn trigonometry. It's a white pants kind of day. It's true. Mondays are white pants kind of days. I shouldn't be allowed to wear white pants for how dirty I am.
What were you gonna call yourself?
I was gonna. Well. M4 says that Storm effed up his basement. Uh-oh. Squeeze them thing. People waiting for the treat like, oh. Another one? Not his treat. Either way, it's a green day. AMC staying at 7%, and I'm gonna tell you, if your name is Amy, about whether or not the beginning of June squeeze is something that we can predict for the next turnaround. Because that's something that we have already started to see play out, very similar trends on AMC on the technicals alone. But in order for a true second June squeeze, the double gamma squeeze, we need a couple more things in play. Oh no, 4 tornadoes near you in Michigan. Look, we're gonna just talk about this bell here. This bell is about to be run. We are just probably less than 20 seconds away. I'm gonna start counting backward. 20, 19, 18, it's done. Day is over. Now, Webull might end up talking with the other brokers and deciding on a different closing price, but the battle of 58.01 seems to be on our side. Now, usually we reserve those battles for Friday, but we can have a battle today, 2 cents over that $58 milestone, right? We passed over the VWAP today with ease, and we have now confirmed multiple pieces of that macro pennant here. We confirmed the bottom of the pennant last trading day on Friday and the top of the pennant today. So one of the things that you'll notice about this compared to the last time around is that it is a lot cleaner, a lot more touch points than last time, and a lot better in terms of being able to have control where the bears want it and control where the bulls want it. As of right now, I would say that AMC is currently waiting for a potential breakout from the low point of the pre-market yesterday, as well as the potential of the after-hours squeeze from treating the top of this pennant as support. But as you guys know, a historical pennant is very much like this golden one. That's why this is such a good educational point, is that a historical pennant is made up of the same highs and lows, the same left side of the pennant as the current white one that we are building. Once a trading day had pushed the price action all the way below the golden pennant, I thought that we were done for, and yet we came back around the next trading day in 24 hours and ripped all the way from the low 40s all the way to 65. So if that is our potential rip from 40s, right, the low 40s, then what is our potential rip from nearly $60? That's what we're going to be talking about during the after hours. David Buchanan says, nice action today. We are officially up 7.5% with not 150 million volume, right? So today has been a low volume day with a lot of price action upward. It seems like even when they try to bring back the expectations to try and lower the amount of volume that goes into the lit exchanges, they still cannot prevent the hype train, the true price of AMC to start bubbling up to the top. So that's AMC on the day. GME has even less volume than AMC relatively, right? Because its average is 8.6 million, only had 4.7 mil. That's a roughly slightly more than half. And GameStop trending 1.5%. Now that's actually less. Is that less? No. I was going to say that was less than it was trading at in the pre-market, but I think in the pre-market it was trading at like 212. Now it's trading at 213. That is, once again, right above its 50-day exponential moving average. So that has become a great indication of where AMC is going to support. We saw that earlier last week's trading. But the most important piece to remember is that this 50-day EMA, this white line, has been giving support to GameStop multiple times. That's something that we want to pay attention to into the after hours. Mr. and Mrs. T said, can a squeeze happen after hours? Well, certainly a bullish pennant could play out after hours, right? The smart people, the people with the Webull that can trade after hours and pre-market, the people with special bots, the smart money, in quotes, come out during the after hours and pre-market. That's why people have a harder time trusting exactly where that price action is going. So that's why it becomes a little bit more, I was going to say like inauthentic in terms of its price action like validity and whether or not it's naturally performing. But in that sense, since it's all humans, it's just a different population of humans, this is going to be a weirder part of the market. If you have just started trading, welcome, right? Hitting that subscribe is the best way to start your financial freedom journey. If you have just started trading, you probably don't even know the difference between pre-market and after hours. Overall, it's just a chance, right, historically, to let those traders go home. And now we have another group of people taking the night shift or the early morning shift that continues to track the market all the way until I think 9 p.m. Eastern. I was trying to do the math. Hold on. Yeah, 5 more hours. Wait, no, 4 more hours. That is 8 o'clock Eastern. So the after hours goes in, and the last time we saw a major rip in the after hours was all we needed to confirm the very top of AMC's price action. So here at 77 is where we've drawn the tops of these two pennants here. And so that is where we saw the highest price action of AMC. But take a look at that bullish pennant and tell me you don't see the same price patterns. You basically can't. It's immaculate. Good here, Cap'n. Let's see. Brandon Hallam says, great weekly sign on a Monday, and everyone sees AMC shooting up in the beginning of the week. Could drive volume and momentum. Exactly. Perception. Perception is everything. And now we have the tricks on our side. So Amy, I'm going to answer your question now if you're hanging around. The reason why we saw this rip for 135% on the fateful day that we had a gamma squeeze on AMC, it wasn't the first one, but definitely the most impactful. Is shorts covering the dark pool to keep it down? No, we talked about the fact that dark pools don't do that. And if you guys aren't convinced, we have Dave Lauer's DD to cover in a second. Talk about exactly how they don't do that. Done. If you're not convinced, we'll talk about that in a second. Boom. Let's see. Little Windex. Who is that?
Ooh, wouldn't it?
Little Windex? That's a fun name. Okay, so right here is where AMC had the largest options chain it had since the January squeeze, right? Nowadays, that's just a drop in the bucket. But back then, that was the largest gamma chain leading up to a potential gamma squeeze. Now, that said, it needed a catalyst, and what happened when we started facing that 135% rip was Adam Aaron tweeting, or at the very least, the news officially coming out with the at the market offering completed. So AMC was very afraid of what could happen once that news came out, or at the very least, they announced dilution, and that hurt the stock a good amount. And it went all the way up after that news. Now, that said, right after Mr. Adam Aaron said that he would like to initiate a proposal for more dilution in the year 2022 and beyond, and that halted the bullish run of AMC. Otherwise, we could have seen the far right side of the gamma chain actually play out. And if you guys have been following, you know that that is all the way over at 145. So here, people are still playing bullishly on 145 day in and day out, about $8 million worth of calls. We do have to talk about those suspicious options chain. We have to talk about it at the $30 mark and the $35 mark for AMC, right? That is, we last counted $36 million worth of deep in the money calls between 30 and 35. And with GME, right, the suspicious $25 million worth of puts. And now that it's the end of the day, let's check if that's gone even higher. What does too long didn't read mean? Does it mean too long didn't read? Yes, it does. Soon AMC to Uranus. Neil deGrasse Tyson, do not come at me. Buddy. $12 million at 380, 13 million and 390. That's $25 million worth of deep in the money puts. They can exercise that at any point before GME hits 390 or 380. It's an expensive procedure to put up resistances on the way, but at the very least, it's not shorting and adding to their position of unreconcilable debt. And maybe it's an indication that they just don't have any more, like, they don't have any other ways to try to break GME's price action right now. It's just a little too bullish. So GME had a high of 224.47, right, on the day from close. Last time I closed was 209, so 224. That is $15 up. That's getting close to like 8% ish, real close to 10. And so both of these stocks had a near 10% rise at its daily high. After that, these two started facing bullish patterns, right, like this. It's hard to say whether or not the left side creates a good pennant here, because there does need to be an uptrend, but it did create a pennant that we drew throughout the day that has not yet broken out. Let's see. Why is Austin Tobit upset at Dave Lauer? I don't know. It seems like it's none of my business. But let's find out on this episode of Let Me Check In. Okay, he's not yet updated me on it. Let's see. Oh, yes, we don't do dates, but you know, Yomo Money is Meatball Money is asking a question about when this pennant is set to break upward, and this is not an indication of a potential squeeze. This is just this macro pennant itself, right? So, as a reminder, right, pennants don't have to break out. We have seen them historically break out on AMC, so to temper your expectations, this one did, right? This one actually made it pretty far, all the way from the 40s into the 60s. A pennant is not guaranteed to retake its previous highs, But if a 50% rip is any indication, right? From a 50% standpoint, ripping at 58 would get us all the way up to 88. So at the very least, this potential is up to $80 and beyond. That's why talking about dates and price predictions is way too dangerous, and it throws the data game off the curb, because you eventually give all that data over to the hedge funds too. So you don't want to do that. Now I can finally put this over here. Heck yeah. So we had those sell indicators on Lux Algo. Look at that. Look at that prediction of these Bollingers. So you see the faint cloud here? That's a prediction of the rest of the after hours. It looks like we're just going to be holding AMC holding pattern here for these Bollingers and GME as well. These are strong sell signals. It don't seem like they've paid off, especially from 216, right? $3. A little overzealous, but maybe Lux is seeing something that we don't see. El Randall says, those puts are bullish AF. Who will be buying puts at 390 is the question you might ask. Sounds like a new floor is brewing. Protective puts. Now, El Randall coming in with something that we like to hear, right? A possible bastion at a much higher price. It's essentially like saying, I don't think that, what's something like that? Like if you're thinking like Citadel, Kenny G is going to go into a boxing ring with Logan Paul. Actually, that's a bad example. He's going to go into a boxing ring with like Roaring Kitty, and then someone who you thought would be like a person that would be against Roaring Kitty says, I bet that Roaring Kitty won't even win more than 10 times. So that's a very bullish put if you think about it. That is a very high strike price because they are not willing to take a lower strike price to knock down the price of the stock. All right, so somebody who sold this put has made a lot of money. In fact, there's an article about selling puts that we saw. Hold on. I'll find it. Eventually. We'll find it eventually. Let's see. Dana James Jones says they're going to wait for it to spike in a couple of days probably and then do the same thing they did on June 2nd. Rip, consolidate, repeat margin calls. Marge calling, we like to hear it. Thorium Game Lab says, where do I download this game? Looks fun. This is the game of the biggest casino in the world. Alexis thinks that AMC should rip to $120 based on this pennant. And the only question is whether FOMO, options expiring out of the money, the new rules, and other covering will cause the mother of all short squeezes. FOMO, the double-edged blade, the bane and the blessing that we need to be able to get another margin call under our belt, right? People need to know that they're missing out on a ton of money, a ton of moolah. But how they know it is the important part. If they think that it's just a money-making quick scheme, right? If they think that they get in, they get out, quick little gamma squeeze, Morty. Listen, Morty, it's a quick little gamma squeeze. We get in, we get out, and we are set. That is going to stir up too many paper hands into our pot of perfectly diamond-handed apes that we've held, right? Roughly 4 million of them since the last gamma squeeze. Ja Rule and Tutati saying, hello joiners, if you like what you see, show that you like. Tutati's, Ja Rule, you guys are making a lot of sense right now. Make the like counter make sense with the people watching. All right, now I'm going to zip my mouth for that. No more. All right, you guys know what to do. Mother of all short squeezes, 600K. This chart reminds you of Excite Bike. Like, which one? The AMC chart looks like Excite Bike. Alexis is throwing his message again, right? Careful, because that throws not only a number, but also a date. So those are two rules that we try to abide by. No numbers, no dates. Keith Cloverdale would like to trade his best friend. Slot for a look at Sensionics. Well, Keith, are you ready to make a deal with the devil? Because we're gonna have so much friendship. Sensionics had a decent day. Opened the day at bullish $4 or so, dropped down to 394. Now coming back green on the day overall. Closed on around 380s, 380s to 415 looks pretty good. Pay attention to the fact that this oscillator is diverging still into the after hours, which means that the bulls are going to likely try to take over price action in the morning, but paper hands for Sensionics are likely trying to exit at the same time. So you're expecting a morning of turmoil after this after hours. Mark says, does Meatball have a pillow or cushion? He does, but he doesn't like it. It makes him hot. Here's his cushion right here. It's like a body pillow. It goes out pretty far. Put it right here to remind Meatball that he could have it if he wanted it. Excited bike. You're a genius. Yes. They still use an SNES emulator on your phone. Wow. Technology. Luxago has an update, yes. So use that link in the description, get 20% off, and get the updated product. What does the triangles mean? KaiCon, let me show you a little picture of what those triangles could mean. They mean... Hold on, what am I looking at? Bullish pennant. And if you wanted to take a video, look at a real quick video, you know, you could take a real quick video and take a look at the examples that I already have pulled up. But that's what we're currently looking at. So you look at this pattern and tell me if you see the black part. And the blue part is the part that I'm going to draw right now. Okay, actually, in fact, I'm going to restart Epic Pen. There is an actual skiing game that uses the stock market to make a track. Ooh, I've actually heard of that. King Abyss 111, what's up? Speaking of which, 111 is the Make-A-Wish number. So some people expected this part of the price action to be right here, this breakout level, right? But it could just be this level right here on its way up to the breakout level. So if this doesn't break, then we could see something similar to this. Or this could be the break, and tomorrow if we continue following this bullishly, we could have 3 days of 15% up each, which consolidates to one bullish attempt to break 50%. Darius Johnson, I've been saying that AMC is closer to getting margin called for the major players, the major short whales, at around triple digits. So yeah, waiting for $100 is within reach. All right, everyone likes what they see. Back to this. Yes, it's right above my head. A couple of resistances are blocking it. 676 at 17.4. That blue arrow will be fine. Yeah. Tutati says I'll take that blue arrow. And that said, if this does take $77, right? A lot of brand new FOMOing apes are gonna try and jump on, and not all of them are gonna be diamond handers. Let's see. When will me break 60? Mark, when you break 60, we are going to see whether or not $60 is in play for tomorrow. Now, if we're staying in this pennant, then it shouldn't be. We should actually have $55 as a strong bottom for tomorrow. If we actually take 60 for the next day, then this is the beginning of the breakout, right? Bullish pennant already breaking out might be the headline that you guys see in today's video, because a bottom of that pennant takes place, and then we rejoice. Can I make this smaller? I can't make this small enough. So soon, apes. 2077 squeeze has finally started. We didn't even need to wait till 2077. Day trading grew in popularity in the pandemic. Here's why people do it. I think there was a survey and they were like, because it's fun. Making money quickly, fun and entertainment. Yep, there it is. New resources empowered me. Fear of missing out. Now, I'm surprised that fear of missing out is only at 19%. I feel like this survey has incomplete data. There it is. Why do you day trade? But day trading is dangerous. I don't consider myself a day trader, and I don't consider anybody here a day trader. We are here to make a revolution happen, not make a couple of pennies on top of a squeeze. Okay, I was looking at a video earlier about Fast 9. So some of you heard that AMC is making fundamental plays now, right? Over this past weekend, AMC had seen 2 million Americans enter, and that is the largest weekend that they have seen since 2019. So people are saying the bounce back from the pandemic is likely going to change a lot of stocks. AMC is starting to feel like that is exactly what is going to happen. Joe Miami, AMC Golden Ape, says AMC will deliver the best fireworks for this 4th of July this Apes has ever seen, making money while saving a business my kids can enjoy. Joe Miami, that is exactly why we're here. It's for the children. It's making sure that we are surviving under the weight of a heavy hedge fund boot that has been on our necks since 1920s, right? Since each epic disaster of the 20th and 21st centuries has been tied to the exact same culprits. Can we hold them accountable, right? Well, fundamentals seem like they're coming back around. And even if fundamentals are positive, then suddenly the smart money, the old money, have to shut up because they suddenly don't have anything to talk about when it comes to, AMC isn't following the fundamentals. Well, we didn't need to, and yet we are still owning it. So okay, go ahead and take a look at this quick video, and I'll be back after a short bladder attack.
Dollars this weekend. That's the biggest box office take since the pandemic began. Joining us right now to talk about what this means for movie theaters and for the studios is Sarah Fisher, Axios media reporter. And Sarah, it took a huge hit, blockbuster like an F9 to get $70 million back. Is this telling you that things are reopening, that this is the way back for movie theaters, or is this telling you that you have to be of a certain ilk to be able to draw in any sort of a huge audience?
I think it's telling us both, Becky. Look, this was an action and adventure film. Those types of films tend to do really well in movie theaters because people want a cinematic experience for them. But it does show optimism for the theater industry. We now have 80% of North American theaters that are open. That's a huge milestone considering the fact that a year ago we had just 1,000 of the roughly 5,000 theaters that were open in the United States. But to your point, I am a little bit bearish on future films. I don't know that your typical animated family film is going to do great. We take a look at what Peter Rabbit 2 did just a few weeks ago. It was nothing like this.
You know, looking through, 70 million is incredible. This is the biggest that we've seen since 2019 before the pandemic broke out. Only 80% of the theaters are open, so you wouldn't expect to get 100%. But F8, the film right before F9, took in $100 million on its opening weekend. So 80% of the studios open, 70% of the profit. Is that because you still can't quite pack people in quite as tightly?
I think you can't pack people in. I think people are so skittish about going to the movie theaters. Also, it depends weekend to weekend. If we go back again to the Peter Rabbit example, that was a beautiful weekend. We had a little bit of rain here on the East Coast, so that might have helped out. To your point, though, that this didn't do as well as some of the other F9 franchises, I don't think the studios expected it to. It was expected to bring in around 60 million this weekend. So there was never a major expectation from Universal that this was going to be an absolute blockbuster.
The movies, the popcorn, the Vin Diesel, the butter. Who said this? Lawrence K. App says fundamentals, more like fun cause I'm mental. AMC. That's what we're working with right now. Let's see. There's a new rule that makes it harder for stocks to squeeze. What do you think, FUD or something? Well, you got to tell me a little bit more about. Have you seen this article? Tell me a little bit more about it. Peter Rabbit 2. You know, I really don't understand Peter Rabbit 2. It just doesn't seem like it has broad appeal. The movies.
Stop it.
Oh, it's so funny though. Isabel says, I'm not all stressed about Peter Rabbit not doing well. If it were a big Disney movie, maybe. And people saw F9 already, so Fast and Furious 9 coming out and giving AMC the 1-2 punch. The jolt in the system that it needed. Back to the options chain. The one thing that you'll notice is that the blue on the chart can be treacherous, right? It's not like the $60 out of the money options chain. Now, all $8 million of those are perfect, right? People are betting on a very reasonable $60 strike that could go in the money tomorrow or even during after hours today. And that is going to be another round of hedging for market makers to raise the price even more. It's an uncontrollable coerced buy because of the risk profile that the market maker needs to withstand. It cannot withstand heavier risk profiles because it is a potential negative downside, an infinite downside. Saranj says, I am from India. Anyone else? Somebody else? Let's do this. We won't be here longer than another hour or so. So if you guys get this video up to 1,500 likes, we'll do a raffle giveaway. We'll do a fun little giveaway right now. 500 more likes, just gotta make that math make sense. I think we have the power. It's kind of like having 8 million. When someone asks me, hey, if we have 4 million apes that control the entire float, then why is it so hard to get the price action up? It's the same as getting, nearly 2,200, 2,500 people in here and then trying to say, smash that like. It's the same thing. It caused active work. And that's what the hedge funds are hoping, that it takes you work to continue tuning back into these shows, to smash that bell button so that you keep getting notified, right? It's work that they are hoping that you don't do. And the more people that open their eyes and say that it's hard work to continue paying attention to these markets, to continue researching, to continue educating people, right? As soon as that is learned, that's the first step to being able to trigger the mother of all short squeezes. Webull says, I'm from Bangladesh. Perfect. That's two. Shout out to all the apes in India, says Fock and Free. I said F-O-C-K, YouTube. That's F-O-C-K. When AMC gets to 100, I think we make Andrew learn the moonwalk. Okay. Deal. You heard it here. Deal.
You don't know how to moonwalk?
Well, no. I'm just going to do it on screen.
Oh.
Patty Nelson says, hi, Babel, from Bangladesh. Remember Max? I love Max. He's a good guy. Max Mar. What a Jesus of stonks. Let's see. Salute to what you're doing from Canada, Meyer Lee. Salute to the Canadians. Whoa, 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 whoa. Holding like Smeagol and the Ring. Costs nothing to hold. It truly does cost absolutely nothing to hold. And that's the reason why time is on our side. The more scared that you get, the more you have to zoom out. First of all, zoom out. And then you'll see this crazy pennant and you'll be like, Andrew, I see it. I see that the potential ripening is among us. And I'm not talking about among us like this plush stuffed animal right there. I'm talking about it's nearly upon us. Brandon 2012 says, I went to see F9 in theaters and they went into outer space and showed the moon from outer space. Get ready, apes. We will soon be reaching our destination soon enough. Oh, that's awesome. Guess I have to watch it tonight. Joe Miami says, I believe big whales are sitting, letting the hedgies bleed and letting them continue to short more. I believe it's a trap for the hedgies and the big money will move in at the right time. People really want to know about MMAT. Okay. MMAT. Metal. What is it? Meta materials. Meta. Meta metals had a gap up during the pre-market today from 460s in the after hours into 1030 in the pre-market. Lost some of that potential rip. But I don't know why it says 20% down when it closed at 523 the day before. Now it's closed at 796. What does it say? Previous close 990. Am I blind? Something is fishy. Either way, I think MMAT, just by looking at it right now, seems like a runaway stock going off as some bullish news. People buy the rumor, and then just some people sell on the news. So currently, the true value of this stock is somewhere between these ranges. And that's the truth for people who all of people who try to capitalize on runaway stocks, right? Once you see this go to 100% up on the day, you just start to realize that that is going to be a much more difficult delta to capture than someone who was able to find that stock a little earlier. Check out Coinbase. I still am. I think I still have 5 Coinbase, which is honestly an embarrassing amount for the price I got in on it. TRCH merged with it. Ah, that's the special news. Got it. Metamaterials, formerly known as Torchlight Energy, is looking to find a bounce. Well, overall, I think those of you who bought the Torchlight dip, or not even a dip, it was just what it was trading at before the merger, I think you're thinking, hey, the stock's pretty good. What I'm going to say is I'm going to take a look at the Lux Algo for Torchlight. Okay. MMAT. Honestly, I think Torchlight was a better ticker symbol. Strong sell signal in the beginning of the day. Essentially just carried through for the rest of the day. So large divergence in the oscillator. When it came back around, like for basically here, you could have bought here, right? You would have missed an even steeper dip. But I would say whenever the oscillator starts to do a reversal is a pretty safe place to jump back in and buy the dip, which is why the oscillator is such a good tool. Because you didn't get a buy signal here. You got the buy signal here, which relatively is a worse buy signal than this one. But Lux Algo has a certain amount of false negatives that it needs to adhere to instead of false positives. It needs to balance out how often it gives you a signal that may not play correctly. Meatball needs a flag of his own. It's gonna be the sleepy dog flag. Oh, you know, I keep deleting the one asset. There it is. Okay, put that back there. Or so help me. Put that thing back where it came from. The old classic bold tulip pattern. Ah, tulips. Anyone else still bullish on tulips? Ah, tulips. Let's see if I can just turn one of these on. T-Sulfur. Let me put you in the bottom here. Oh, Charles Payne is in the chat. The hope is when the shorts have to cover and pay, the dividend torch will have to have it lit the fuse for the rocket. Thanks, Charles. Monsters Inc. Knowledge at Charles Payne. Tell me something about the Shiba Inu Fisker MMAT. Tell me something about Shiba Inu Fisker MMAT. I told you something about MMAT. How much are they losing a day for this? There was a tracker. I think Ortex has that data. Ortex has been going at it. Lorenzo says, what's more beautiful than rose on my piano? Tulips on my... I guess I'm not going to say anything. Okay, so this is the Ortex. You guys always getting me. Ortex tweeter. Intraday interest for AMC from 6 hours ago up 1.818%. Short interest has been updated here as well. GTT has a short squeeze trading signal. This is back on 25th. So Ortex did have losses here, but they're currently not tweeting about it. Charles Payne says, I'm the original Charles Payne. Charles Payne might disagree. It depends on who. Have you guys seen that new Rick and Morty episode from yesterday? What a good one. It's really asking the question of who is the original. What is originality? The dog sleeps, AMC sleeps. AMC currently less than 1% up in the after hours. Sorry, wait, that's GME. Less than 1% up in the after hours. AMC is less than 1% down in the after hours. So some serious consolidation is to be in order before AMC hits that major rocket upward. What does this one say? Silent Bob. Steven says GTT is cheap, so a squeeze can be nice. Can we start calling paper hands port noise? They are. They are already called paper-handed port noise. In fact, I learned about that phrase before I even learned who Dave Portnoy is. And that's the magic of the stock economy. That's the magic of the stock economy. What can you do? Okay, let me take a look at how many of those of you are in here. So either 200 subscribers more or How many more likes? 300 more likes. I think one of those is doable. And I am going to be here for another half an hour. Uh-oh, Morty, someone shorted the synthetics again. That's the reference. That's the one that I'm looking for. Let's see. Stick to the pizza ratings, Portnoy. Is Portnoy considered smart money or dumb money? Well, what is the crowd? What is the consensus here? I know the answer, but what do you guys think? AMC back to 0% after hours. Michael Lawrence says, do you think the squeeze is near? Oh, Michael. Oh, Michael. Michael. Yes. That's the point, is that we're waiting for the next potential gamma squeeze coming up. And the double squeeze doesn't have to be another gamma squeeze. It could be a potential margin call squeeze, depending on 002. It really gives you a better sign of just what is to come when you consider all of those together. Bring this back down. You can't see my position. I'll keep it up here. Dark pools, price discovery. It's the thing about infinity pools, Jesus. Infinite squeeze. Oh yeah, most people consider, well, people say dumb money. Remember, smart money is actually just what the elite call themselves. So if you think he's a part of the dumb money, it might actually be a compliment. Port is not dumb money. He is just dumb. There it is. There it is. Okay, we kill those pages. Can AMC reach 100? Right, we talked about this article in the actual trading day. It actually has a good portion of FUD inside, but the pieces are there. Edgar would like to for me to give a quick update. So we have confirmation with this yellow circle that I have indicated here of the top and the bottom of this bullish pennant that we have been tracing since the beginning of June. Right, so that's a 1 month long bullish pennant. Over on GME, right, we had the rebalancing of the Russell 1000. That said, this 1 minute candle here, this is like the one last minute rip for GME. It was in anticipation of that rebalancing. Nothing happened, not during the after hours or the pre-market for the rebalancing, and then GME went skyward. And that said, is GME refocusing its fundamentals on toys? Is GME investing in brand new fulfillment centers that are way bigger? All of those are considerations for why GME continues to rip higher. But in terms of the technicals, we are looking at GME forming this very nice cup and handle. And over the course of 3 months, currently tracing a multi-week handle, it is smack dab right here on top of its 200-day EMA. So that means it's right where it needs to be. Rich Soda says, can you check out MRIN on Algo, please? Sup, Meatball? Okay, real quick, Rich. Real quick, MRIN. Good boy. Dumb and crazy money. Got him. All right, MRIN got a strong buy signal right at the end of the trading day, and that paid off from 667 all the way up to 820. Yo, that's like 30% up in the after hours alone. This started on the day at 537, ended the day at 680, and now continuing to go on. Check that oscillator in the after hours. It has diverged right next to my head, right? So it has diverged immensely since the after hours began. Looks like it's going to continue riding this until it hits the inside of this overbought Bollinger up here. And that's at 850. So it's real close to getting rejected. You're welcome, Rich. Frick is saying, do you really believe in the squeeze? Yeah. I mean, I don't have to believe in it. They already have happened multiple times. Do I believe in the next one? Yes, because they've already happened multiple times. That's how easy it is to believe. You look at something and you're like, huh, the price of a stock just went 135%. For no reason. Well, for a couple reasons, but for no reason that smart old money understands. So that certainly must mean that someone else has the answers. Does it mean that the apes have the answers? Well, we currently control the float. So I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. Oh, man. Urban Warfare Media says, when the squeeze happens, I'm buying a monocle and top hat for sure. And my dog to wear AMC embroidered. He's going to get a real embroidery to jump on this. Okay, can AMC reach $100 reduce? So right here, the point is that it's trying to understand AMC from a fundamentals point of view, right? It's trying to say like, oh, in the last earnings, right, it had a miss of 4 cents, and then it had a miss of like blah, blah, blah. And then it looks pricey on the EBITDA. So from, I think at the end, can AMC really hit $100? If we think about it fundamentally, AMC is likely to better, blah, blah, blah. It's trying to say like fundamentally AMC doesn't have a chance. But technically, yeah, technically it looks like it's about to just rip to the high heavens. Facts, Andrew. Oh my god, the like button is in the chat. Have you guys smashed it yet? Go attack it right now. Attack that like button for existing. How dare it come into the chat. Andrew, I'm not just calling for a price target, but do you think that as the mother of all short squeezes, this squeeze can go above 30K a share? You're going to have to trust your fellow apes all the way up to $30,000 a share. And that's a question of you. Do you believe in this community? I love this community to death. I trust that the apes can hold until the next gamma squeeze. I trust that the apes can hold to the next margin call squeeze, right? How far do you think we'll go past these squeezes? Because it's not about one squeeze. It's about a series of coerced buying events that is going to compile to the mother of all short squeezes. Zach Orions is telling a joke, or perhaps lack thereof. Got him, Zach. Dad jokes. Check him at the door. Father's Day was last year. No, I'm just joking. Oz Muhammad says, Dave, who's Gary Gensler, AMC Apes? Dumb money, eh? You just call him dumb. You can just call him dumb. Now we need the easy button in the chat too. One of you make it happen. Come on, one of you make it happen.
That was easy.
Oh, I wonder if I can juggle bell, easy button, and rocket ship. Probably not bell. Bell, I'm 100% going to make a lot of noise with. Maybe a hedgehog. Back to the price action here. Zach says, just trying to lighten the mood. Ugh, jeez. Seems like I can't sell a single dad joke in here. Just joking, Zach. Shugs, you can still use that. You can get the same link in previous video descriptions. Right now I'm trying to get more familiar with Lux Algo so that I can speak intelligently about it when we see these critical buy signals come through. Investor Stallone says, time for an easy squeezy. Ooh. Matty Vision wants to see the FTDs, please. FTDs, please. So we have failure to delivers. Wow, that's some good data. Look at that. So is this back from June? No, it's from January. Okay, so these are the January FTDs. Whoa. Whoa, cool. Nice chart. So the yellow bar charts are the FTDs. The price action is these closed candles here. Maybe they're hollow candles. No, I think they're regular candles. And then the exchange reported SI has hit its peak in the end of May, and have now returned, but still relatively high at the, where is it? This doesn't show. Well, I think that's going to be the 85 million last reported SI. Now real close to 100 million short interest on AMC. Nomragad says, sorry, as long as I'm here, there will be at least one person who isn't speaking intelligently. I do not fear, I am here. Jason Kojak says, love the chart, looks beautiful. I agree. Looks very pretty. Cup and handle consolidation is usually 2 to 3 weeks. You don't need Yahoo Finance to tell you, I can tell you. The cup and handles have historically run months, if not years, and the one that I use most often is the Wind Resort Squeeze. Right, a lot of factors go inside that, but that was one of the perfect cup and handle patterns that we are able to then point to and say, look at how similar GME runs. Right, just one piece of evidence in the macro patterns that we see from many different stocks. Wins Flip says, no lemon squeeze today. Oh, but if you come in for tomorrow, oh boy, you're gonna get some lemons. You are gonna get more lemons than life can handle. Let's see. Jessica says, by the way, if anyone here adds me as a friend on Discord, let me know y'all came from here. And I'm in some groups where I really don't want to talk to members, but y'all are the exception. Jessica, bringing that group of Moon Platoon members in closer. Daniel says, with that chart setup, will that run up happen tomorrow, you think? It's the end of the pennant. But we don't do dates around here. I'm going to say that if we can see the end of the pennant, then so can the hedge funds. Okay? Mother of all manipulated Mondays, right? It could be the easiest trick in the book to try to think that the gates are down, that our Trojan horse has gone in. We've been talking all weekend about the fact that AMC and GameStop shorts have just been letting their guard down multiple times. But is it because they've lost control? Or is it, that's a great question. AMC price action is good, but is it because hedge funds have lost control? Or is it because such a good pen? My notebook. It's over here. Lost control or reloading. There we go. Have hedge funds lost control, or are they just reloading? Richard Whitaker says, yo, we live, son. It's true. Good afternoon. What's up, Kilgore? Long time. That new episode of Rick and Morty? Let's see. What do you think about the AI and its 1 month chart? AI as in the concept? Meatball really being a good boy over here. How would you react if AMC hit 1,000 tomorrow? I would be like, wow. How would I react? You guys are gonna have to tune in to find out. You can't get any previews for my reactions right now. Cade says, we know that China's not our friend. What's keeping Chinese hedge funds from buying billions of dollars of AMC GME, deadlocking short hedge funds and American banks? Ooh. That's a good question. I guess China has a couple more things on their plate right now than trying to mess with the squeeze. But if they do, you heard it here first from this community. Okay, that's a great question. I don't know. Austin is saying AMC hour chart hasn't broken out of pennant. It tested earlier at 59 a few times and got rejected. There is still a little room left in the pennant. Remember, even if the pennant does not play, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 touch point. Actually, this is a quintuple touch point pennant down here that broke out and still successfully had a ripening. What's my opinion on StockGrid.io's dark pool data? Is it reliable? It's more like, does it matter? Does the dark pool data matter when it comes back down to the DD that we read from Mr. Dave Lauer? If we had to take a look at that, Stonko tracker is still at 1.7 million in terms of borrowable shares. So AMC and GME here. Oh yeah, I was gonna explain it with this DD from Mr. Creand. The reset the clock clause in the SEC documents themselves. So this is in SEC describing exactly how to reset an FTD. Do I set it to autopilot? Yeah, it's a lot more intuitive. It has a lot more intuitive value. Brian P says, what do you think about the gamma exposure going down on AMC? I think that one of the best ways to indicate when a potential gamma squeeze is coming is to take a look at exactly how excited people are about the options chain. And right now, millions of dollars speak for themselves. We haven't seen the options chain this populated for a long time. That's the AMC one. This is the GME one. Conceptual logic. Good luck on that commute. Ugh. Austin Richards says, I agree. I was just stating we haven't broken out the bigger pennant yet. Also wanted to thank you as well. You, Trey, and Matt have given me hope. I put a whole 401k in at $9 and I'm already up 260,000. Austin Richardson. That sounds great. Hopefully you have a Roth 401k so you can just take those tendies tax free. But congratulations. Come on. Come on, come on. Must be really giving treats out here. Alright, look at that. Charles Payne says, dumb money is a stander from the hedge elites. How dare we dumb apes think that we can best them? Sometimes the apes find a weakness and break out. Buy, hold, don't be lured back into the cage. I'm coming out of my cage and I'm feeling just fine. Okay, there is the SEC. Reset the clock. Description. Andy K says, where do I find the DD to illustrate that AMC will squeeze comparably to GME? Find it on this channel. There's a whole playlist down in the homepage of this channel for AMC specific news or GME specific news. And that goes far, far back. Devin Jewel is trying to decide to pick a number to sell out. Remember, we don't sell exit strategies 101 that we've covered is that you can have an exit strategy, right? This is not your exit strategy, nor is it mine, but you can have an exit strategy that involves selling multiple times at different price points. Then they usually should be life-changing money, right? If you're selling at 60 bucks, better be because that allows you to do one thing that you have never been able to do. And that is the truth, right? If you sell at 100, 200, at 1,000, at 10,000, at 1,000,000, right? At the end of the day, if you're asking yourself, is this life-changing amount of money? That is the question. No one can answer that except for you. Austin says, I don't have a Roth, but I will be quitting that poop factory once we squeeze. That poop factory. Ren Hall is asking, shouldn't the puts be lower than the stock price? Yes, they should, but these are in the money puts, which means they're already in the money. In fact, these are so in the money that there's almost no chance for them to be out of the money. That's why they're deep in the money puts. And that is suspicious. You're absolutely right. Stephen Bogansky says, thank you for all what you ape generals do. Thank you for the chart technical analysis, and thank you for Meatball. It's all Meatball, by the way. So just as a reminder that all the thanks should go directly to him. Dontel says, do you think this could last until January 2022? You know what? If it does, I want it to last all the way into February so that all of my gains are capital tax-free, or short-term capital gains tax-free. I'd much rather pay long-term tax. Andy K says, I would never have bought AMC if not for this channel. I just haven't seen or read anything that suggests AMC has the squeeze potential that GME has. Oh, well then you're in luck. You are in luck. AMC is up 500% compared to GME in terms of the holding patterns, where those two stocks were for much of the spring and winter 2021. Holding patterns that the AMC and GME were stuck at. GME was roughly stuck at around 160, and then AMC was roughly stuck at $10. Plotkin's Puts, strategy Plotkin invented. Well, come on down to Plotkin's Puts, where we'll be giving you the best manipulative tactics possible. Mama says, please think about that in the money put trade. Oh, I will. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm going to give you a couple of graphic designs and possible approaches to exactly what that is all about. Also, Brandon Balser, random shout out to you. They said nonprofit idea, love it. Hey Brandon, love you. Thanks so much for leaving a comment. Mike Roberts said he sold a piece at 60 because he needed the rent money, but now he still has a ton. Woohoo, still holding now again and placing all my salary. And Mike, it sounds like you are ignoring the rule number one, which is not investing more than you're willing to lose. But hey, happy for you. We're not trying to tell you to do anything with your investments. We're just happy that you are able to pay rent and you're continuing to do the research and being a fellow ape. Let's see. How long is considered a long-term investment? 1 year? Yes, 1 year. And these are American tax rules, and I'm not a tax advisor. Shouldn't we own more than 80% of the float by now? Well, back when Adam Aaron reported it, we did. We did own 80% of the float. That's what he said. It's not like we extrapolated that number. He specifically said we own more than 80%, right? Or at the very least, the 4 million apes do own at least 80%. F that poo factory, says David Carlson. For tax purposes, are any shares automatically assumed to be your oldest shares? Like if I bought 10 years ago, then I bought 10 yesterday and I sold 10 today, are they long term? I remember this. Is it LIFO or is it FIFO? And I don't know the answer because I'm not a tax accountant. Boom. Liability solved. Tick tock. I don't know the answer. Finding Fair Trade says, happy to be part of this community. Is really revised your 2021. That is the very reason why we are here. That's the very reason. I'm so happy to hear that. Okie dokie. Wow, we're 50 away. Looks like we're doing that giveaway. 50 likes away. We're still 160 subscribers away from 110. Remember, we're really close to that 111,111 subscriber goal. That's when we make a wish. And we'll see some pretty cool choice raffles given in the near future. And remember, if you guys were chosen for the raffle but didn't win earlier this morning, you get another chance right now. Bishop says, appreciate you speaking the truth and the facts. Jill says, am I clicking a pen? I'm just like rotating this custom pen that someone sent in the P.O. box. They sent a wooden bowl too. Pretty. So look at that. And we've been using it. So thank you again for giving Meatball a chance to eat from the luxuries of life. It's Meatball's world. We're just living in it. Remember that after you sell your shares, consult a tax attorney to see how much you need to set aside for capital gains tax. Right? You don't want to bankrupt yourself with capital gains tax. Let's see. Slumbo says, pick me! Right? Remember, earlier in this live stream, I told you exactly what the answer to this raffle is going to be. Oh, let's stretch. Oh, let's live. We're living in it. Remember to stay loose and limber. Oh, 3 likes away. Okay. Well, with 3 likes away, we're going to say thank you guys for getting us to 1,500 likes. And the question of the day, we're going to bring it, we're going to just add you guys to the list of the raffle winners from earlier, is, what does Andrew collect displayed prominently right here? What is that a collection of? That's the trivia question. If you guys get it right, the first 3 get added to this list immediately, and the rest are random. Jill N says, stop clicking your pen. Sorry. Deveka has also just subscribed. So remember, to answer this trivia question, you do have to be subscribed, because I do check publicly if you are subscribed when you come claim your prize. Looks like we did it. Lori Blanks has the answer first. It is hedgehogs. These are my collection of hedgehogs right above my head. Let me zoom in on them while I collect more. Go hedgehogs. Those are those hedgehogs up there. So Lori Blanks, you're number 1. Then we have Lance McKay. And then we have Nom Regaz. Everybody else is going to be random. We're going to have Kurt Anderson. You've been randomly selected. We're going to have Jezebel. Jezebel wants to win. We're going to have Baba Ape. Hedge Dogs. That's close enough. Ben Dover says, hedgehogs, bro. That's true, that's true. Ben's not wrong. Stoli says, I'm random. Well, you would have had a chance to win, Stoli. Eddie Prieto says, hedgehogs. Grateful Wayne says, random. The Garden Channel says, hedgehog. And then Jordan Kirov says short hedgehogs. Love to hear it. One more. Daveka87 says hedgehogs. All right, even if you didn't win this time around, you're going to be able to have another chance in macro raffles. We're going to put everybody's name back into a Google Doc. And here it is. 3, 2, 1. Jeremy Riley. Jeremy, go ahead and send me an email at andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. Congratulations, and come claim your prize. Okay, back to it. Andrew loves collecting hedgehogs. So if you have a hedgehog you want to send it to me, the P.O. box is in the description down below. Make sure that they are not live animals, because I'm pretty sure the USPS does not allow that. And Patty Nielsen says, happy birthday, Elon. It is Elon's birthday?
Yeah.
What do you think Elon is going to get? This is now an episode of Yesterday I Asked You. So yeah, today I'm asking you, what do you think Elon is going to get for his birthday? If you guys do go comment, remember, if you do go comment, wait until the live stream is over and then comment again. Baba Ape says, congrats, Jeremy. Hurrah, Jeremy. Ooh. Ooh. That sounds fun. Ooh. Steven says, Biden is sending me money for my daughter. She will be buying more AMC each month. Hedgies, push this. A Tesla. He's gonna buy he's finally gonna be able to afford a Tesla for his birthday. He's gonna splurge. It's gonna be a cherry red Model 3. Jackson says, I don't love collecting hedge funds. It's hedgehogs. We have to get it right. We have to get it straight. All right, we've had 2 hours on the after hours, right? It looks like AMC and GME have been fully updated for the day. Hey, hope you guys had an excellent one. We did a giveaway. We did 2 today. We're gonna do more tomorrow. Make sure that you have slammed that like for this video. Come back when the live stream is over. Comment out what Elon Musk wants for his birthday. And once again, thanks to those of you who've gotten your 2 free stocks from Webull in the description down below, your $250 of free Bitcoin with the BlockFi link in the description down below, as well as your attempt to try out the Lux algorithm. Gives buy and sell signals for any stock or security that you want. It can even be silver or gold or whatever, using 20% off code AndrewMoMoney at checkout. And for now, but not for forever, I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. Peace.